Can you tell us what's your current job now? Where do you work?
I am the of U.S. submarine system development at the Naval Warfare Center in Washington, D.C.
Can you tell us what degree you have and what year you graduated from UWF?
Yeah, I have electrical engineering bachelor's, 2009.
Awesome. Do you have any family who's attending UWF?
Um, my daughter was afraid you were going to ask that. But yeah, I do have a daughter actually currently in the science and engineering programs.
That's really nice. You're just
Yeah.
extending the lineage. It's
Yeah,
great.
she's more into software, but she's doing good.
Mm-hmm. So onto the actual, into the actual like questions.
Okay.
What impact did UWF have on you?
Um, it was a tremendous opportunity for me. I was a prior veteran, so I actually had spent time in the submarine service, and I went back to UWF to finish my degree, well, really start and finish, and so it was an excellent opportunity for me, and it was really helped my career path, and I had an excellent experience there, and so yeah.
That's wonderful. Do you still have any connections with the university on a regular basis?
I wouldn't say regular, but recently I've interfaced a little bit with I think he's actually their assistant dean of engineering now, Dr. Kaboo.
Mhm.
And so I'm not sure if he's the dean of engineering or assistant, but I have interfaced with him and had some correspondence in the past year or so. Just he was actually back when I was a student. He was one of the professors for especially on the computer programming area. So I remember him vividly, and we spent some late nights together. So yeah.
All right. What experiences or classes helped you the most in your field?
Um, I think for me, um, all of them. I mean, I think um, so. Really, right now, I mean, maybe it'll be a later question, but I'll expand a little bit. I have uh, I have 46 engineers that work for me. A lot of them are younger engineers just out of college, and I actually had some meetings with some of them today. Very talented, very motivated. And one thing I tell them is that it's just, really, as long as it's science and engineering, well, that's what that was the field I was in. As long as it's, that type of degree material, it's really okay. I mean, it gives you a good academic background, and I mean, I have a wide variety of physicists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, aerospace. So there really isn't any specific skill set that I have within my branch. It's a wide range of a pretty diverse background. So, and I think a lot of them would say that they just like the engineering community. So for me, I really enjoyed all my engineering classes, particularly. Um, I think an arts student or business student would probably say they enjoyed um, their area of expertise, arts, business, just like I'm saying, science and engineering. It's same kind of idea. I think I enjoyed all the math, the higher math. I enjoyed all the physics, all the dynamics. Obviously, all my electrical classes were very important for building my career path. So, um, you know, being at electrical engineering, I probably would have been favoristic towards the electrical engineering classes.
Right. So you already touched on the next question a little bit, but what are some of the specific skills you would recommend developing while someone's in college?
Um, well, I think that it's a little bit of a little bit of a combination between having a strong academic foundation background, but at the same time developing skill sets on a personal level. I think it's very important. My branch is very important because we have a diverse responsibility. We support the fleet. We support submarines, surface ships, destroyers, Navy SEALs. So we build systems from scratch. So we do a lot of fabrications, both mechanical and electrical, and a lot of software programming. But it all comes together to build. What we do is my branch is systems development. So we build systems for the Defense Department. And it's very important that our engineers work good together. I try and stimulate that sometime by, picnics and get-togethers where they can kind of let their guard down. But I think that it's important that they really respect each other, that they learn to communicate with each other, and really kind of exchange ideas on how a system is doing, whether they're having problems, whether there's good things they can comment on. It's important to have that kind of ability to start a relationship, working relationship, and because it's important because they need each other to work together, and they all kind of count on each other to help each other. It's very important. And I have different levels of expertise, different levels of experience, but some of them come from really very challenging schools. I have one individual that was assisting us from MIT. I have people from Virginia Tech. I have some people from smaller universities, a lot of them from middle type universities, aerospace from Maryland, things like that. But it really, I guess what I'm getting at is they have to have, it doesn't really matter what matters, but it isn't as important where they came from. It's more important of how they approach their work. I can have the most talented engineer. I can have the most, knowledgeable mechanical engineer and the most knowledgeable electrical engineer or software. And if they really can't relay some of the information to the other engineers and work well with them, it can be a problem. So, and I think it goes along with that. I have a lot of one of the things I think engineers need to learn is, which is hard for some engineers to learn, is to take time for yourself. I think it's more of a life skill again. I think that because no matter what, as science and engineering, you're going to spend time, you're going to have hours, and really any field in college, you're going to have hours where you're doing CAD or you're doing math or you're doing, programming, and there's going to be times when you just have to isolate yourself. There's really no way around it to do some of the hard work. But it's just as important to free yourself up to have time to go hiking, go surfing. I have engineers that on their spare time build race cars, full size. I mean, one guy, he builds he's built his own race car from scratch, and he races periodically. So I have another engineer that's pretty avid surfer. He doesn't get the opportunity up here. You can go a little bit east over to some of the beaches, but still, there's athletics. I have a really good female engineer that just started about 2 years ago, Jenna. She's spends a lot of time. She was a really good varsity tennis player. So she's also a master's in mechanical engineering. So she's very talented at her her academic background. But she also just frees herself up to give that breathing room, that time to go do something that's not work related. And so I think it's important to learn how to do that. because I think any degree, you're going to need to learn, you know, the ins and outs of your degree, whether it's art, science and engineering. Um, you know, you're going to need to learn the math. You're going to need to learn the things that are going to give you a foundation. You're going to need to learn, you know, for electrical and mechanical, you're going to learn all the different types of theories, all the different types of practices that you're going to have to apply. Um, but at the same time, a lot of that knowledge needs the skill and the motivation from an individual behind it to really bring it together. Because you can have a lot of knowledge, which you need from your degree, but at the same time, I think students need to combine that with, you know, take some time and enjoy yourself. Don't overwork yourself. Take time to do things that you want to do, um, and that you enjoy, and that you know, whether it's hiking, you know, anything. So that's kind of.
All right, so you already went pretty in depth into this, but the last question we have written here is what advice would you give the current students preparing to go into the same field?
Um, uh, yeah, I think I did cover some of that, but one of the things I probably didn't go into was make sure that you challenge yourself. I think it's important for all the engineers. I have about 21 junior engineers currently out of the 46. And when I say junior, I mean they've been out of school for maybe 2 to 3 years. And so I think, you know, one of the things I tell them is they got to keep challenging themselves. And they really need to, when they go out in the workforce, they need to kind of make sure that their employers are challenging them. I mean, it's good to find a job that you have a supervisor that is going to give you work that is up to your level, because you don't want to get stuck doing things that are just, you know, really, I don't want to say, you know, I'm not sure what the right word is actually, but you want to be challenged, and you want to make sure that you keep challenging yourself throughout your career. Don't ever go stagnant. Don't just become complacent. And a lot of that is incumbent on the employers to really, you know, find the right employer, make sure that they're going to challenge you, and then just keep challenging yourself and treat others with respect, and kind of, you know, expect that in return. It builds good working relationships to have the communication, the respect. Everybody needs to feel comfortable, and so you get it. It's I think having the degree is such a good thing. I think because for me, yeah, it's engineering, but it can be, you know, science and arts or anything. I think once you get out in the workforce and you challenge yourself and you build relationships, it becomes real enjoyable. Where it becomes difficult is when you overwork yourself. You don't balance your life with your work, um, and sometimes you don't develop the relationships that you need to really, you know, have some fun. So you know, that's what I think is important. That's what I've seen make a difference, because the work that I do, you know, on a national level is pretty important. So I have to have engineers that are making a difference and making an impact. And I want them to know that they're making an impact and making a difference. And so I think the more that engineers can see that they're making a difference and they have an impact, the better off it is for their career path, and just you know, just better off as a whole.
All right. Well, those are pretty much all the questions we had for you. Do you have anything else you'd like to say to the UWF students?
Just go Argos.
Okay, thank you. We really appreciate taking the time out to talk to us.
All right. Thank you.